Good morning and happy Monday. It's Monday, Momentum Builder Monday.
Momentum Builder Monday.
It's time to not just build momentum. If this is your first time joining us, then it is time to build momentum. If you've seen this before, then we hope that on this day you continue to build momentum, because remember, it is all about the compound effect.
Pick up the speed, baby.
Let's go. The only way to pick up the speed, though, is to build momentum.
Is to move your feet faster.
Yeah, so many people go from, expect that they will go from 0 to 100, and although that seems nice, your car doesn't do that shit. No machine does that shit.
Just a Tesla semi.
You are a machine, right? Divided into two parts, your brain and your body. What makes you think that you can go from 0 to 100?
What makes you think?
Let's say good morning. Good morning, Courtney Collins,
Courtney,
Kayla Robinson,
Emily, Tiffany, Tawny, Andy, Brittany, Momstead, Brandy, Jeanette, Amanda, Larissa, Nikki Johnson in the house, Tina Willie in the house, MJ.
Top of the morning to you. Who said that?
Top of the morning to you.
Was it one of our Scotland peeps? No, it was Andy. Cool.
Top of the morning.
All right, you guys. So there's two thought patterns, okay, and we have to acknowledge both. And now you have to get very real with yourself and identify which of these are you, because if you don't get honest, then guess what? You're going to keep living in a lie, and if you keep living in a lie, then guess what? You're never going to get to where you want to, right? So, two thought patterns, okay? And this is extracted from John Maxwell, who is a leadership guru. I've been studying him for quite some time, and he's phenomenal. But the first thought pattern, okay, is called the looking good for others thought pattern.
Wait. Let's start with the other one.
You want to start with the other one?
Let's start with the other one.
Okay, the be good?
The be good. The growth minds, like do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start there. That's what
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so scratch that. Okay?
That's still one.
So thought pattern number one, okay, it's called the get better mindset. The get better mindset. Okay, the get better mindset is basically the thought pattern that you have when you just purely focus on improvement. So now remember, last week we talked about improvement being the most crucial part to success, right? And Momentum Builder Monday, there's no better time to talk about it, right? In order for you to find success, you need to build improvement, okay? Success lies in the hands of improvement, okay? So seeking to get better, having that thought pattern is exactly what you need to have in order to be successful, right? Like, nothing great in life was achieved overnight. You want to lose 100 pounds? Okay, you need to learn to improve. Now, what are the things that you need to improve in order to get there, right? Like, everybody just looks at wants to see the before and after. No. What we need to focus on is, how can we get better? What do we need to do in order to get better? Who do we need to be in order to get better? The person who has lost 100 pounds and not gained it back within 100 days, lost it for good, right, will no longer be the same person as the same person who weighed 100 pounds more. I don't care what anybody tells me. Weight loss is literally nothing but a byproduct, right? In order for you to sustainably drop that 100 pounds, you have to believe that you can do it. You need to have the right approach. You have to have the right attitude, and you have to take action. Now, the more action that you take on a more consistent basis, the faster you can start building momentum, right? But you need to have all of these elements together. So what you need to do right now is you need to focus on, okay, what is my goal? And what do I need to improve on in order to get there? Right? It's a process. Nobody wants to hear it, but it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, what do you?
You are the same person, you just are a transformed and evolved version of that person. So, like Transformers, right? It's a car, and then it transformed into this crazy robot. But then it goes back to the car, right? It's the same. You're the same person. You're just transformed, but you're transformed internally and externally.
Mm-hmm.
But only externally because you've transformed. I'm having a really hard time with that word today. Changed internally,
Yeah.
and there's, you know, we talk about like the be better mindset or thought pattern is growth minded, because there's fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. And I'm going to actually read what the differences are, because in my head I know, but it's much better when I read, because then it's very clear cut for y'all.
Because you also sound very, very nice when you read.
I sound very nice when I read?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, fixed mindset believes that intelligence is static. A growth mindset would believe that intelligence can be developed. Fixed mindset would avoid challenges, and a growth mindset would embrace challenges. A fixed mindset gives up easily. A growth mindset persists when faced with setbacks. A fixed mindset sees effort as fruitless, and a growth mindset sees effort as a path to mastery.
Oof.
A fixed mindset ignores constructive criticism. That's your ego, thinking that you know it all or that you don't need help. A growth mindset learns from constructive criticism. That's humility. A fixed mindset feels threatened by the successes of others, and a growth mindset finds lessons and inspiration in the successes of others. A fixed mindset plateaus early and achieves less than full potential. A fixed mindset plateaus early and achieves less than full potential. And a growth mindset reaches higher levels of achievement. So which thought pattern and which kind of mind do you want to develop into?
Also, you know, if you're just starting to listen to it, or to listen to our show, or you're new to our community, or, you know, you need to ask yourself, what have I been struggling with? Because I guarantee you that 90% of you guys, unless you are working on changing that, your problem is your thought process, 100%. If you lost weight, gained it back, lost weight, plateaued, whatever, all that bullshit, unless you're consistently on the uprise, I'm not saying fast, I'm saying consistently on the uprise, it's what's in here that's holding you back.
Or bringing you forward.
100%.
So there is this one, what we're calling mindsets, thought patterns.
So we just talked
this is the be better.
Yeah,
the get better mindset. Get better. Like where you're legitimately just for yourself getting better. One of your whys might be, you know, have to do with like family or things like that, but you for yourself are wanting to get better, and you are thinking, you know, that embracing challenges, embracing struggles, believing in possibilities, believing in yourself, and taking this instruction and running with it, right? Listening to these videos and applying them, and being open-minded to coaching and to growth from and inspiration from other people's successes rather than just comparing yourself and being upset with other people who are succeeding.
Yeah.
Then we have, anything else to say on that one?
Well, you know, I want you to assess where you're at in your journey and what are the things that are holding you back, right? And this is for, I don't care how, like, if you've been working with us and how successful you've been, what's holding you back? Like, even Erin and myself in our own journey of personal growth, okay? Like, we have things that are holding us back that we're currently working on. And we're being held to account to it, and that's how we know that we're getting better. You guys, if you are struggling with something, which we all are because we're human beings, you need to be held to account. Because holding yourself to account is not enough. It's really easy to let yourself down when you're not being held to account.
It's easy to say no when nobody knows you're not following through.
Because in the moment, there is no real consequence. Yes, there is. You don't feel it. No, nobody will see. Nobody will know if I'm eating chocolate at night. Yeah, but your body knows. Right? Like, here's the thing, you guys. So many people talk shit about their body. Oh, I hate my body. I'm like, bitch, your body hates you. You gave it to your body. You know, like autoimmune disease, you know, any sort of metabolic syndrome. Obesity is a metabolic syndrome. Heart disease is a metabolic syndrome. You did it to yourself. You are the problem, but here's the thing. You're also the solution. And that's why we talk about these things, right? Because you have to get very real with yourself, right? So, you know,
you can't have when you set your goals, for one, set your goals, or you're not going to get anywhere. For two, you can't have goal fear. Goal fear is when you set a goal and you're afraid to tell anyone about it because you might not follow through.
That's why you need to be held to account.
That's why you need to be held to account. You need to set the goal, not I want to lose weight, but how much weight do you want to lose? When do you want to lose it by? Why do you want to lose it? Do you want to fit into a certain size pair of jeans? For what event? By what date? Like, get real and then share it. Share it. Post it on the group wall. Mm-hmm. Put it somewhere so you have public accountability.
Yes.
Because then you look like an asshole when you don't follow through. And if that doesn't light fire under your butt, you're in the wrong group.
Yeah.
I don't think you're in the wrong group.
The most successful people in any journey are being held to account. Each and every week, we're being held to account by multiple people. We have our mentors, we have ourselves, we have our team. We're being held to account by all these people. We have no way out. And you shouldn't give yourself a way out either. Now, the problem is, right, is that it's uncomfortable to be held to account because you have to be okay with getting vulnerable.
It's about to get really hard.
Because not every week is going to look the same. And something that we always talk about too is that doing your best every single day looks different. Mm-hmm. In any aspect of life, whether it's with your health, whether it's with your business, whether it's with your relationship, right? Because every day looks different. But you have to commit to do your best every single day. Now, not every day you'll want to do your best, right? It's easier to want to do your best on a Monday. But how about a Saturday when everybody around you is eating shit? Right? So, like, you need to focus on improvement. Let's say if you used to eat 10 cookies every day and you're now down to eating 2 cookies, yes, you're very far off from where you probably should be, but the reality is that with regards to this one element, you're doing 80% better. See where I'm going with that? So you need to focus on improvement, but focusing on improvement alone is not enough. In order for you to continuously be focusing on that, you have to be held to account because it is a vulnerable, like success is a vulnerable journey, right? There's a lot of trials, tribulations, unexpected things, right? And the reality is
tears.
That, yeah, we all need help because
I think I cry at least once a week.
Oh yeah.
And it gets healthy.
Yeah.
If you're not crying once a week because of a positive challenge, challenge yourself more.
Yeah. Now, well, where was I going on with that? It's okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying.
Oopsie, I
That's
took
okay.
it. Wasn't meant to be said.
It's okay.
Wasn't meant
Maybe
to
it'll
say.
come to me later. Was I talking about being held to account?
Yeah, you're talking a lot about being held to account. What were we talking about?
Well, you have to be held to account. Let's just move to the next point.
Okay, great.
So the next point, right, is the point where deep down you don't give a shit and you're just trying to look good for others.
You're the look good, the faker.
The fakers.
The faker. You've seen him on Instagram.
The
Don't
fakers.
Don't be one of them.
I think that if you're in our community, you're deeply focused on making yourself better. Give us an amen, hallelujah, if you're right there with that thought pattern. You're like, I just want to get better. Like I'm not trying to fake it. I'm doing this deep down because I know that this is that I'm being held back, and my full potential is way better than where I'm at right now.
This is how I see the process going of people coming into our community. Most of you are here because you saw some kind of ad on Facebook or Instagram, or a friend shared something and you saw it, and that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Because you're here and you're learning and it's beautiful, right? Now, just from the ads themselves, because we are how we are in the ads, just as we are everywhere else.
No makeup. Did you notice
In
we
person,
don't do our hair, we don't do makeup.
A little bit of mascara sometimes, but the most recent one I posted, I don't think I have any makeup. Like my eyes look like they're in the back of my head. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But because we are real, from the first moment you have any kind of interaction with us, you then know what to expect when you come into the community, right? And I think that if you are a fake person to any degree, or you are the look good just for other people kind of good, then you are actually going to be the person that's like, fuck those girls, because you're going to be that person who has the fixed mindset, and you are threatened by the success of other people. You're not going to come into our community. So I don't believe any of you are like that. And I believe if you are a look good for other people kind of person and you come into our community, you don't engage, you're not watching this video right now, or you don't stay for long.
Yeah.
Because it's just
you're
not
like I don't understand. Like they're not telling me anything about macros, and I just want to lose weight, so tell me more about macros. And we're like, bitch, you're the problem. Macros ain't your problem.
I think that less of that as an issue. I think it's more like coaches have that kind of issue, where coaches will try to sound really smart and they'll use big words that nobody can understand, and all it does is make them look smart and not help anybody.
Yeah. Because they can get to ground level with you.
Yeah. Yes.
So my question to you guys is what is your thought pattern? The be good or the get better? Do you try to look good for others? And by the way, there is nothing wrong with looking good for others. Like that's a part of having high standards, right? Like you go to a job interview,
sure.
like
Wait, I don't think you're looking good for others though. I think you're looking good for you to have confidence in front of others.
Yes, 100%.
Right?
But also because you know that you're being perceived by others. And here's the thing: first impression counts.
Oh, we talked about this yesterday.
Yes.
We're going to Cancun. We're going to Cancun in October. We're going to Cancun in October, and that's about 8 weeks from now. And I told Sarit, I said, look, I like the way I look. I really do. I'm confident, but I'm going to get even leaner because the amount of confidence I have when I look a certain way. And we're going to a specific event And I said, and probably some of the people who will be at the event might even watch this video, I was like, when we walk into a room, it is important to us that people look. Mm-hmm. It's important to us that people know who the fuck we are. Why? Because we know that we have the knowledge, the information, the personalities, the compassion, and the love, and the leadership to be able to change the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits that have transformed ours. And if you don't know who we are, you do not have, this is going to sound arrogant as fuck, but if you don't know who we are, you do not have the pleasure of being able to learn that information and feel that love and compassion. I truly believe nobody ever has done it like we do it. Yeah. And nobody's doing it like we do it. And so it's important that everybody knows who we are. So I'm like, okay, I set for myself this weekend just to clean things up, just to tighten things up a little bit. I don't eat terribly, but I have, like, I'll have leniency here and there on just little things like, oh, extra nuts on the salad or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And little things that are just unnecessary. So I gave myself an allowance of protein bars. I gave myself an allowance of drinks per week. And all of this is really to say that it is okay to want to look badass as fuck. Yep. There's nothing wrong with that.
And you should.
But you have to ask yourself, what's my intention?
Right.
What's the purpose? My purpose is we have a solution that can help a lot of people. And if they don't know who we are, they can't find that solution. So it's important that we look like the example. And when we walk in a room, heads turn. Yeah. Because we will be remembered.
Because for us, it's about the mission. It's Absolutely. Not about us. You know, one response caught my attention. Stacy. Oh, today we have a call. I love it. Okay, I just saw your name and you said I need my confidence back. So my question to you was going to be, okay, what do you need to do in order to earn your confidence back?
What would give you confidence?
And also, right, and also what are you committed to? Mm-hmm. Because you guys, but
wait, three questions. What does that mean?
Yes.
For me to have confidence?
Right.
What am I committed to? That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
And what am I willing to sacrifice?
100%. Here's the thing. Here's why this is important. Because people who have goals want to achieve something. But guess what? In order to achieve something, you have to sacrifice something. In order for change to happen, first you have to be okay with sacrifice. And that is why so many people struggle with change, right? You're a business owner, you want to make more money, guess what? You have to put down an investment.
You have to sacrifice time, sweat equity. You have to sacrifice.
You want to lose weight, guess what? You have to sacrifice time, energy, resources, money too, if you want to get on the right approach.
And sometimes your Sunday donuts.
Yeah. And your glasses of wine. But nothing changes if nothing changes. And you're the first person who has to change in order for the change to happen. Your body is literally a vessel. It's nothing, it's the masking to the thoughts that you have and the actions that you take each and every day, and it's a byproduct. Nothing but that. I wanted to share with you guys, a conversation that I was having with one of our clients yesterday. And, she was talking about her goal, and she asked me that. She's like, is setting a goal of being the top 100, completing the Open this year and finishing up in the top 100, like, would you say that that's a good goal? So I said, well, yeah. Now, we have to consider a couple of things. We have to, like, relatively speaking, right, what did you achieve before? Right? It's like for, let's say somebody to tell me, okay, I want to lose 200 pounds. Okay, great. So first we need to know, where are you at right now? Right? And then we also need to understand the timeline. And then the next thing that I asked her is, why is that important to you? So normally when it comes to weight loss, I feel like it's a lot easier to ask ourselves, why is this important to us? But from a performance goal, being top 100, it's not like being the first in the world. If you want to be the first in the world, then I already know that you have a massive why, and you'll be able to tell me that very quickly.
Come here, Bob.
Because, come here.
Come on. The door is open, but not enough. And he's like
Do you
scared
want
to
to say
push
good
it
morning?
with his bulldozer body.
No, him don't want to say good. Hear him. Do you see him? Wow.
Sweetie
I
man.
can't see in the morning. Right? But it's like when you want to be the first in the world, or when you want to lose 100 pounds, something dramatic, then there's probably like a huge like emotional attachment, right? Like somebody who wants to lose like 20 pounds, right? Or be top 100 in something. Like you're not getting a world-class award for it. And therefore, it's really important to understand, like, what are you doing this for?
It's filling some kind of void.
Yeah.
What is the void?
Right. So I asked her, I'm like, let me ask you this, right? Like before we get into the details, why is that important? Like, why is that important to you? Because
Always
here's the thing, like to finish the CrossFit Open being top 100 when you finished last year being 500, that there's a lot.
There's a huge effect. At my peak, and this was before the sport was even so advanced. I was 92nd place at my peak.
Yeah.
Or 91st or 2nd or whatever.
The higher up you go, the more detailed you have. Like the more detailed you have to be in order to make a tiny, teeny, weeny like advancement. So like, you know, you and I were talking about it with the inner circle on Saturday, right? And when we were doing like a tutorial of how we like prep for the weekend stuff, and you know, we were talking about our body composition and how I'm more strict than you. Look, I'm a lot more particular and specific with regards to the foods that I put in my body than Erin does, because that is my standard for myself, right? To have a six-pack. Like for me, it's non-obligation? No, it's a non-negotiable, like not having a six-pack, right? Like for Erin looking strong and looking ripped, like that's what she loves. But having a six-pack is not necessarily what she cares for, right? And therefore, she has more room for error.
This is perfect. Say your butt.
Yeah, but the higher up you want to go, the more sacrifices you have to make over time and be okay with it. So you have to know why you're doing it. Because in order for you to get anywhere, okay, and the more advanced or the more whatever it'll need to require, the more sacrifices you have to make.
The reason I don't have a six-pack, I just thought about this as we're talking. For one, genetically, like I've never actually been really defined in that part of my body, right? Like my lower body is much more defined. Gosh. But listen, this is really important. The reason I don't have a six-pack is because my thought about a six-pack is, oh, it would be nice. Have you ever thought, oh, it'd be nice to weigh this much? You're never going to get there. You will never get, like, I will never get a six-pack thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have a six-pack. You have to want it.
Yes.
Right? And that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't have to have a six-pack. And to be quite honest, like, even when I get really lean, you still can't really see 6 of them. Like, let's be honest.
No.
Like, at my leanest, you can see, like, 4.
Well, look, if you really wanted to, you could develop it just like I did.
I could do a lot of ab exercises.
Like,
I just don't feel
did
like
a shit ton of ab work for years in order to build that muscle.
And in a lot of your developmental stages of life, too.
Yeah.
So at a younger age. But that doesn't mean it can't be done. That means
Right.
you just have to want it,
Yeah.
not it would be nice. You have to really want it.
For me, having a six-pack is important because it's a vessel of accomplishment.
And Juna Lynn said, does it ever stress you out does the looking the part, need to look the part ever stress you out? For me, no.
No. If
Talk
it stresses you out, then there is something like there's a disconnect.
If you want to talk about accountability, how much would y'all trust us if we gained 20, 30, 40 pounds? Do you want to talk about accountability?
Yeah.
You are our accountability.
Yeah.
That is amazing, and it's free. Thank you. Actually, it took a lot of hard work to get. How many people are here? 50 people?
But here's the thing: they all have that same. Like, there's 4,500 people, you guys, and like every week it grows and grows and grows, holding you accountable, right?
But
like
you have to put it out there.
You have to get vulnerable with it, and you have to be okay, and you have to ask yourself, why is that important? Because in order for change to happen, that requires sacrifice. Sacrifice of any kind is uncomfortable. And that's why people resist change, because change is uncomfortable, right? Whether you have to, have 30 minutes, like give yourself 30 minutes in a day when you're not even used to giving yourself 5 minutes to do some movement, right? Or whether you need to now start investing your time by learning to cook a new meal because you don't even know how to cook. Or whether that means that you lay off the trips to McDonald's that you do every single day after you head out of work, right? Like, it's all sacrifices, and sacrifices are uncomfortable, especially because our brain is wired by our habits, right? So if you have a habit of, driving through a drive-through every single day after work, then guess what? Like, changing that habit is going to take some time, and it's also going to be uncomfortable because physiologically your body will want it. Behaviorally, your brain will ask you, why are you doing this differently? Right? And that comes with some kind of pain, right? When you start a new workout regimen, or you go from, the rise above to burn zone, there is a change. Right? And your body responds to it by being more sore, right? Your heart rate goes up, right? So this is something that you have to be okay with. But, a huge part of just this mindset or thought process is ask yourself, who are you doing this for, and why is that important?
I want to... One last thing before we close up. Tony actually asked a great question, and it's a very simple answer. She said, I just want to be healthier. I don't care about having a six-pack. I want to look slender through the waist and have less fat mass on my body. Does that goal make me bad?
No.
Then? Look, you are the only one who can say what will make you feel the best. That's not for us to decide. Our job is to help you get to your goal, not for us to help you get to what our goal would be for you.
Right.
That's not for us to decide. And the only thing that can make you bad is what you know intuitively you're doing or not doing, or your intention to something that makes anything bad. Nobody can say you're bad. You know in your heart, robbing a bank is bad. Killing somebody is bad. Like, hands down, no doubt about it. Right? Now, eating a cookie, bad or good, indifferent, it depends on your intention.
Eating a cookie, as a snack after your lunch.
It depends on your intention.
Yeah,
it's always your intention, always the why. Right? And you already know. If you feel guilty about doing it, it's wrong.
Yep.
You already, guilt is Mother Nature's finest way of saying you're not doing the right thing.
That's your intuition telling you, but you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to anyways.
Yeah. Right? So it's not about, eating a piece of pizza. It's not about what your goals are. What your goals are. Look, we talked about last week how, you could see somebody and they could look overweight, but maybe they've lost 100 pounds and they feel on top of the world.
Yeah.
You never know.
Right.
Everybody's story is their own. Everybody's preferences are their own. Everybody's goals are their own. You have to go back to, what is my intention and what do I feel inside by this action that I'm taking? Makes it good or bad. I don't really like black and white, but...
Tony, with regards to your goal, you're the only one who can decide whether it's enough or not.
Yeah.
The question is, are you feeling like you are on the right path?
Do you want more? You got to sacrifice more.
Yeah.
You want more? You got to try harder. You want more? You're going to have to probably fail a little bit more to figure out how to keep going forward. That's just how it goes. And now, if you want more, those are the things that are required. And if you're really happy and confident where you are, great. But most of the people here, because y'all are badasses, are always going to want more. You just evolve through it. So that's why Sarit and I can look back and think about our lives even 3 years ago. Still really healthy, still extremely fit, but there were still changes that we even want to make. It's as a high performer or as somebody who wants to continuously get better, there is no ceiling, right? Once you nail down one thing, you're not fulfilled unless you're working towards being better at something else.
The only ceiling is the ceiling that you create for yourself. The reality is, if you can, what is it? If you can think it, you can achieve it. But you have to believe that you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. One step at a time though. One step at a time. Like, you might not want a six-pack now, and I'm not even just talking to Tony, like this is for anyone. You might not want a six-pack now, but as you get closer, you might start to believe that you can.
Yep.
So then you're like, oh shit, well, what do I need to do to get that? What's the next thing? Ooh, what's the next thing? That's the community that you're in. That's the way we think. That's the people we are, right? Which is amazing, because once you reach a goal, there's a new one. The pot of gold will forever keep moving. And that's how we stay fulfilled. If we have nothing to work towards, we just get depressed. If we have nothing to become better at, like we've mastered our bodies, great. Our fitness, great. We want to keep improving. We know that those improvements are going to be very, very like incremental, like little tiny increments. However, we are trying to get better now at another aspect of our life, which is investing. So, I mean, other than in our business, obviously there's been a shit ton of that done in the last couple of years.
Right.
But investing for passive income. Like, we don't know how to do that very well.
Nope.
So we're working on it, because you always you want to be better at something.
Yep.
Right? So anyways, that's what I got for today.
Yeah. So the question is, who are you doing this for? Because if you're doing it for your neighbor next door or
to look good on Instagram,
then you're going to be driven by ego. And when you're driven by ego and shit gets uncomfortable, you're going to be like, I'm just going to have another bite of this. Or I don't feel like working out today, I'm sore, so I'm just going to rest.
I thought about this yesterday. Real, true confidence is when you can take a photo of yourself at any angle, one time, and be okay posting it on Instagram.
Yes.
Because for one, you're confident in the way you look and the way you feel about yourself. And for two, you don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. And okay, that's a different topic. I do care about what Sarit thinks. Why? Because I love Sarit. I do care about what you guys think if you're in our community, because I want to serve you. And it's important to me that you're satisfied, right? However, I also understand that there's a percentage of people that just will never be satisfied. And for those people, I don't have an interaction with. I give this many shits about what you think about me. And that is full confidence. Like when somebody can make a comment on one of our ads and be like, oh my God, these are the girls that gave me rhabdo. And I just brushed it off. I was like, bitch, you make a decision to do the workouts or not do the workouts. We didn't do shit.
Right.
You did the workouts. And you probably went way too fucking hard because your ass probably been sitting on the couch for 5 months, and then you got up and you went like 100,000,000%, and you did that shit to yourself.
Right.
So for me, I was like, meh. I didn't even respond. Like, I was just thinking about that. I was like, rhabdo is like a muscular breakdown to where there's tissue goes into the bloodstream, and it causes illness. And it's very extreme. Like, you have to do an extreme amount of workout. You have to go from like 0 to 100 to really like actually do that. And a lot of people say they have that and they don't have that. They're just really fucking sore for like a week.
Right.
But anyways, the point was that like, it used to really bother me when somebody would comment that like, oh, you know, it was actually a compliment if they would say our muscles are too big or look manly. I was always like, thank you. But you know, when somebody makes some stupid remark, it's the 20%. It's the 20% of people who know who you are, who are just never going to be satisfied because they're not happy in their own lives. And some will absolutely go out of their way to bully you. And it's good to know that.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm. So, why is that important and who are you doing this for?
Yeah.
Get very clear on that, okay? And that way you'll be able to analyze what thought pattern you are running on, right? We hope that to focus on the get better thought pattern, okay? So you just seek improvement. Remember, success is a byproduct of continuous improvement, okay? You know, losing 1 pound on the scale, that's improvement. Dropping a pant size, that's improvement. Having one cookie at night instead of an entire sleeve, that's an improvement,
Feeling
right?
more
It
energized.
doesn't just have to be me stepping on the scale and seeing the weight. In fact, the problem with this weight loss industry is that success is taught to be basically a byproduct of whatever the scale shows you. And the scale does not tell you the full story.
The
right?
scale doesn't tell you if you have more energy in the morning when you wake up. The scale doesn't tell you if you slept better. The scale doesn't tell you if you look in the mirror and you feel better about yourself, that you're doing well. The scale doesn't tell you that you know you did the right thing.
Yeah.
The scale just spits out a number for whatever you happen to weigh that day or that hour or that minute.
Yeah.
I talk to people on the phone like, so I'm down 1.4 pounds. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. That doesn't tell me anything. Unless it's like 5 or more of something, it has no validation for me.
Yeah.
Because you fluctuate on a daily basis anyways. Okay, we're getting off the topic. But happy Monday, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really exciting to come, and I was not feeling very well actually before this, and I am feeling better, and that's good. I'm still a little sweaty and tired, but thank you for energizing me selfishly.
Today's day 15 of the In Motion Challenge. So, what?
Yeah. I was good.
So keep showing up, you guys. We're entering the last week. You have this. You know, it's not about how strong you start. Everybody's great at starting strong. Okay? Winners are the ones who finish stronger than when they started. So remember that, and let's have an amazing week where you start off strong and where you end even stronger. Here's to you.
And the extraordinary are the ones who finish as strong as they started and then say, what's next? Do you want to be extraordinary?
Wisdom.
Call me Oprah Winfrey.
Call me Erin Sarit. Amazing, you guys. Have yourself an amazing day. To remember, tomorrow is Q&A day. So whatever questions you have, the link will be dropped if it hasn't been already. Just go ahead and answer your questions. First come, first serve. So ask your questions away and we will answer those tomorrow. Have yourselves an amazing day. Bye, guys.
Bye.